Happy Wednesday, folks. It is Ask Evelyn Live, where we answer your questions about recycling, garbage, compost, and other trashy topics. I'm your host, Becca Fong, and this week's episode, Chemical Conundrum, what to do with all those household cleaners when you're done with them. And just a reminder, this show is run on your questions, so if you have them, make sure that you send them to us by askevelyn@seattle.gov. So I'm so happy you guys are here today. We're all about spring cleaning. A lot of you guys have kind of been through it. And so I'm really excited that we're going to bring this episode to you. And as always, we're joined by my fabulous co-host.
Hey everybody, I'm Pat Kaufman. I'm the Commercial Recycling and Composting Program Manager for Seattle Public Utilities. Happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Always, absolutely. So Chemical Conundrum, Pat, we've got a question that kind of tease this up for us.
HHW. Okay, let's get into it. Our question comes via our Ask Evelyn inbox. He writes, I'm helping clean out my dad's house, and the garage has an impressive collection of household chemicals, garden sprays, and cleaning products. I can just picture it.
I know.
Some are opened, some have never been used, some have parts of labels or missing labels. What do I do with all this stuff? This is from Javier. So Javier, the quick answer, Becca, you want to fire that out?
Yeah, absolutely. So the quick answer is you can take all of this stuff to household hazardous waste for free, which is awesome. And so the trick is we have two locations. We have one in North Seattle and we have one in South Seattle, and we'll give you the hours in just a second. But those are the best places to go. It's a really great service that we partner with King County on, and you can take all of those things. So that's the quick answer. Household hazardous waste, either the north or the south side. But Pat, let's get into the details because there's so much more to talk about.
Yeah, it is. And it is an amazing service. I mean, it's wonderful that we so much don't want this stuff to go in your garbage, in your recycling, in your compost, or down the drain. I mean, that's one benefit of really from King County, the state, everyone's on the same page. And there's a regional cooperative kind of collaborative group that I'm not going to say it right. They used to be called LWAMP, but the Local Hazardous Waste Management Program. And they call themselves something else now. I'm sorry to say, I don't know what it is, but HHW, household hazardous, to the consumer, to our residents, it is HHW, household hazardous waste, and that kind of covers all the things that we don't want to see going down the drain or in the garbage otherwise. So, it is anything that says caution, harmful, flammable. I mean, all these things, that label on the container, on the product, that when you look at it, you're like, okay, this is something that I probably shouldn't pour down my drain, or, so they cover a lot of stuff. And what's great about those places is that they will help you. They will guide you with what you have. You just bring them what you think you need to give them, and chances are they're going to take it. Absolutely. But if they don't, they'll have a very good explanation as to why they're not taking it and what you need to do with it.
Absolutely. So like a really good example, I've talked to a lot of different customers about, oh, well, household hazardous waste, is that just for the super dangerous stuff? And like, I brought a couple of examples of things like I have this, heavy duty degreaser, all purpose cleaner. It does have a warning label on it. But then I also, and they would totally take this. I also have some soft scrub that I found downstairs in the garage. They'll take this too.
They would, they would take it.
So, that's what's really great is that a lot of folks are like, oh, I don't know what to do with that. But, even something like this, you don't want to pour it down your drain ever. Don't throw anything down the drain.
Not even, something like a soft scrub is going to go down the drain as you use it. Yeah. That's in theory. Yeah. So some things, kind of backing up a step to Javier, to the question, just to give him a little more guidance. Like,
absolutely.
Hopefully he can take some things home and use them at his house. He's cleaning out his dad's house, his dad's garage. Maybe he has family or neighbors or friends who are like, oh yeah, I use this stuff, I'll use it. Make the short list, shoot it out through your list, your little your circles, your connections, and try and find a new home for the stuff. Sure. Especially these unopened ones, as he mentioned. Perfectly good product, probably. Things do have a shelf life, so maybe if it's like a ortho product, weed killer, you don't want to, there could be some old stuff in there too.
There can.
So I'm not like pushing Javier to do that, but the highest and best use of a product is to use it for its intended use. It's like a disposal option is an afterthought. Like, we want to use the stuff up and get some utility out of its production. So that's just responding to Javier. But yeah, back to your point about some of these products. there are a lot of things that say harmful or dangerous or poisonous. I mean, there's a lot of product like that out
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Less and less these days, fortunately. A lot of companies are getting stronger market share. Like we used to use this guy called Crud Cutter, which is pretty intense paint remover, and now we've been using more of this, just like it's called, it's just a paint remover, but it says, biodegradable and all these, I'm not so sure what these terms mean, but it doesn't say, harmful on the back. So
Right.
it doesn't work quite as good, but it works good enough, with a little more elbow grease. I can use that. So that's the other thing about these things is, you end up with product in your cabinets in your garage that you purchase at some point, or somebody purchased at some point, but
Right.
being a smart shopper and trying to find the things that are less harmful, because it might end up becoming a waste item for you to deal with later.
Sure.
Makes it easier sometimes.
Absolutely. So there's a huge list of things they will take, a really quick list. I think, Javier, the best thing to do is to take all of that material, make sure the tops are screwed on tight so it's not leaking in your car. If you can put it in the trunk or on the floor of your vehicle, that's the best way to go. Even if you have some that have part of a label, they will take all of that and test it, which is fantastic. So take all that stuff, put it in a box, put it in your trunk or your car, and I would drive to either the North Station, which is at 125th and Stoneway. They're open Sunday through Wednesday, and they're open 9:30 to 4:30. The South Household Hazardous Waste is right across from the transfer station, and they are open Thursday through Saturday, same hours, 9:30 to 4:30. But we'll put links to all of that information in the show notes, so you don't have to remember all that. But put those in a box, make sure the lids are on tight, and then just take it down there and see, and they'll help you kind of sort through what they'll take and what they won't. There are very few things that they won't take. Things like that are like asbestos, because that needs special handling. Explosives they won't take. One thing that does come up a lot, they of course won't take medical waste. That's not on their list. And they won't take electronics. Those are something that need to be disposed of in a different way. One thing that does come across is if you have latex paint, that is something that they will not take. We do have some really exciting news that paint stewardship is coming April 1st. So we'll put a link so you can kind of keep up to date as to when that launches and how you'll get rid of that. But we will do a show on all of that once that launches. So Javier, if you don't have asbestos, explosives, electronics, medical waste, or latex paint, put it in a box and drive yourself to household hazardous waste. So
they might actually ask you to offload it from your car. They used to just come into your car and grab it. But now I think with COVID, they're like, you put it on the table, then you leave and we'll take it from there kind of thing. So there's a little bit of, you put it in a box is a great idea, because then it's easier to offload all your stuff.
Absolutely. They're fantastic. They're super helpful. It's a really quick visit. Last time I went, I think they did I put the box on the cart. They asked for my zip code and we were good to go. So it was really pretty awesome. But again, all those links for everything that they will accept and the things that they won't take, and specific hours and locations, because sometimes that stuff is hard to keep straight. So, all right, now we're at the part of the show where we're doing our weekly waste tip. And this week we decided to talk about what's your best green cleaning tip, because we're talking about cleaning products. And you're right, like some of those things, Javier, I feel for you. My garage is pretty scary. There are some things that I inherited in my garage that are a little frightening. So making the transition, once you can clean that out to green cleaners, we thought that, hey, Pat and I had some good ideas we want to share with you. And what's awesome, my favorite green cleaner to go to is good old fashioned white vinegar. You can buy it. It's a couple of bucks and you get, a whole gallon. I also used it last night to make coleslaw. So, it's double duty. But you would be amazed. Things that you use for like cleaning countertops, cleaning sinks, cleaning toilets. You can dilute it and clean windows with it. It's like there are so many choices, and it has so many uses, and it doesn't have any weird chemicals in it. So this is my go-to right here. My kids.
I like that.
It, so
that's a good go-to for the deeper, grungier stain setup. Good old baking soda.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a paste out of this stuff. It's totally safe. It's basically it's an abrasive. It's like that soft scrub. I mean, soft scrub is basically this stuff and a little bit of something else. I mean, it's just basically you want to get a little something on there. We have a glass top cook surface in the kitchen, and it always get these rings after you boil over or whatever. So it's just perfect. We used to buy the special product for cleaning the And it's not necessary. You look on the, the contents, the ingredients, and it's basically this stuff and some
Right.
other liquid. So you can make a little paste, even on the things you mentioned, tile work, porcelain, any kind of metal surfaces. I mean, you want to make sure you test it and make sure you don't scratch something that's really high profile, like, not the front of your TV or anything. But basically, it's a great product, super affordable. You can, it lasts a long time, so it goes right down the drain, no problems.
Well, so actually, because you thought that up, I will often use these too. So your tip and my tip. So like if our sink gets a little clogged, we'll pour a little bit of baking soda down there, like when you used to make a volcano for the science fair, and then you pour in the vinegar and it kind of foams up, and it will clear quite a bit of the junk, which is pretty fantastic. And my kids really are super excited about that.
That sounds fun. I'm not the whole mixer kind of guy. I'm not the Bill Nye science guy person. My wife will do that. She makes a mixture.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, hey, I'm going to use this thing for this, and I'm good there. So
it's
I'm
just pretty fun.
It sounds fun. It's
pretty fun. It's pretty fun. And we have this really great comment that one of our watchers, thank you for putting that. They use white vinegar to clean their dishwasher. Totally. That is a really good tip because the inside of your dishwasher is pretty gross.
Especially down those edges, those corners can get pretty gunky. Yeah.
Pretty grungy. Yeah. So that is a super great tip. Thank you so much for putting that in the comments.
That is a good one.
Javier, thank you so much for your question. It's definitely spring cleaning time. My garage has stuff in the nooks and crannies that I'm always surprised that there's still more stuff in there. So definitely, you guys visit Household Hazardous Waste. Fantastic. Those people that work there are awesome. So they would be glad to see you as well.
And we do mention it on the Where Does It Go guide too. There is information about it on your guide you have at home, so feel free to use that item to reach out as well.
Absolutely. All right, folks, thank you so much. Really good to hear from you guys. Keep those questions coming, and we will see you again next week. And with that, I'm Becca Fong, and Life's Simpler with Less Stuff.
And I'm Pat Kaufman. Remember to recycle right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.